Hi guys, Dave is here once again, and I have here with me Kemi, a very good friend, and one of the amazing people that work at Kicks. As you know, I mean, I've been repping the brand a lot these days because it's just an amazing brand. But we're not here to talk about Kicks today. We want to talk about business, and of late, I have come across quite a number of instances where a lot of businesses that have all of the things we talk about, they've got capital, they've got ideas, they've got strategies, they've got good people, surrounding them and working in them. However, they are still facing serious challenges, right? And it brings me back to that point where a lot of people tell you start a business, be an entrepreneur, and all of those, and they just never tell you about the perils. So I mean, this conversation is about the understated perils of running a business. What would you say are like the things that people do not think about before they start a business?
Okay. I knew you were going to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, of course, there's a wide variety of things that could go wrong or perils as you put them. But off the top of my head, the first thing I would like to talk about would be planning, adequate planning.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes I know people who have gotten into business accidentally, and then somewhere along the line, you discover that, wow, this thing is really huge. And then because of the precedent that has been set for them in terms of, they got into this thing as a result of maybe passion or some other things, and then you find that planning is lacking.
Yeah, they don't do enough of.
They don't do enough, or sometimes you're not planning the right way.
True.
So it's not just about planning, but it's having the right kind of plan that can work well for the business. So talking about planning, let me just digress a bit into model or business structures or models. So for example, you have a new business, and then you're trying to model that business after something that is you're trying to model the business after a structure that you don't yet have the capacity to handle. That could be a problem. Yes, you're planning, but you're not planning correctly.
Yeah, there's a time to execute.
There is a time to execute. Again, with business, like a lot of people say, it's very easy to strategize, get people together, sit down, dream up all the big ideas, put them on paper and all that. But the execution is the real deal. And sometimes if we take a step back, you'll find that some plans are good, but they're better left for long term.
Yeah,
some
true.
plans are not adequate for your kind of business, even though they are good and they work with other models. So basically planning, not just the lack of it, but also the appropriate planning.
So that is so apt, and I so agree, because many times you find entrepreneurs fixated on the thrills of the idea, the market opportunity, what we can make, what we could do, the good we can make happen. But at the end of the day, right, all of these things always boils down to the hardcore stuff, the grafting stuff, the planning, execution, spacing things, supply chain management. All of those hardcore things really are the pillars that hold a business, not even the ideas. I mean, ideas are a dime dozen. We have people who sell things as common as socks, right? And then they make amazing money and they do it in amazingly great ways. And we have people that have some super innovative things that we think should be the future, but are even struggling. So that is such a major thing. And so we don't make this too long. That question I'm going to ask you, probably the last one, is how would you suggest that new entrepreneurs start out? So you've got the idea, you're planning it out, you're figuring out how you're going to execute in your head. What would be the first step, second step, third step that you would advise they take before they ever get into the realm of hardcore business?
Okay. For the first, second, third step, it might be a bit tricky, because one of the things I've also seen with people in business is that different things will work for different people. So it might not be easy to say this is the necessary first step, or this is the first step you need to necessarily take. But however, there are guidelines.
Okay.
So one of the things I'll talk about off the top of my head is the need to test. They need to carry out surveys, and they need to do market research.
Sure.
Because an idea always looks fantastic. I mean, in your head, you are seeing how people are going to be wowed once I throw this thing out there. Or maybe you sample a very small circle of people and then they're hyping.
And it's not the right even sample. It's not a representative enough sample of what your market is.
And then, before you know it, you push out that product and then you find that you're not getting the response you expect.
And another thing is, you don't find people. You see, market research is so understated these days. A lot of people think all you just have to do is do a post on social media and see how many people like it or how many people comment or encourage you. Oh, you're doing a good job. No. That's not market research. You really need to take the product and go to the market and say, hey, buy this. Exactly. Right? Not would you buy this? Because when you tell people would you buy this, most people will say yes. So long as it's nice stuff, right? Yeah. Most people say yes. So just tell them buy this, right? That is the test. And if they buy, fine. If they don't, then you know that you have to go back and do your homework. And for me, this ties into something I was learning yesterday. This is so important a step because a lot of people right now focus on just getting investor money into their business and stuff. Here's the thing. Investor money is not your tuition, right? You've got to learn those things first. Yes. And then investor money is supposed to be like gasoline that you pour on fire that blows things up, right? So, I absolutely agree with you on that one. So do your market research, do your homework. Yeah. What else?
So taking it back to the research thing, I just wanted to buttress that point a bit. That you said something very key now. You said don't just take a product to the market and ask people if they would buy.
Sure.
Actually do that. We don't do something enough here, which is like sampling, giving it time for a sample to run through.
Sure.
So when I say sampling, I don't mean getting a sample of your products and then getting people to admire it. I mean actually doing a test with a limited number of resources first. I took a very short entrepreneurial course online, one of these Coursera or something. And I remember the guy was saying part of the steps in entrepreneurship is actually making room for failure. But the idea, the scientific idea behind making it a part of your business process is that you are actually deliberately, it's not like you're setting out to fail. You are actually bringing out some of your products or some of your services or whatever it is you're offering. And you are deliberately putting out there to stand the test to see if it's going to fail or not before you jump into the actual, production or
test the waters.
So, we say it, a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you, oh, they tested the water, they've done this, but when it's time, what we do is that we take very little information that we have and then we use that to run huge numbers. You mentioned investors and all that. Truly, investors are good. But the truth is not everyone is even ready for investor stuff.
Sure.
Your business should get to a point, for example, where your demand is so high, you're unable to meet up, then you need people's money to help you drive that. You don't do that in anticipation of, okay, so I'm borrowing money exactly that they would want me.
The market would demand, let me create. No.
So up until that time, you need to keep taking those steps. So bring out some of your products or your services and be willing to do freebies, entrepreneurs, because it's very important. When I say be willing to do freebies, there's a balance. I know we go to programs and they tell us, don't limit yourself, value yourself and all that. But in the midst of that, recognize that there is a process, there is a part of the process where you would be stretched, where you would need to go, above and beyond for people. It might mean a freebie here, it might mean a heavily discounted stuff, but let's not underestimate the place of building the right relationships and getting those things, because those things give you a foot in the door.
So 2 quick things that I'm picking up from that is the fact that you need to be demand driven, not idea driven.
Yes.
So don't let it be about, oh, this is so nice, we're going to push this. Let it be, it's nice, the customer validates that, and let that be the push that moves us forward. And secondly is what you just talked about in terms of giving freebies. The way I like to categorize that is give people results in advance, right?
Fantastic.
So what giving the freebie does really is you give them an opportunity to experience that result in advance, even when they have not paid full value for it, because then they know what to expect. Because at the end of the day, right, what inhibits people from buying is because they feel that your purchasing from you is risky. That is the end, in the people's mind. So you need to de-risk the purchase for them, give them heavy discounts or give it to them at free at first. If you can do that, give them an experience of what it is to expect, and then you see good things happen there.
Absolutely.
Awesome. It's nice having this conversation. Yeah, as we do our kids.
Chop knock.
All right, guys, have fun. See you.
All right, bye.